am your host, Letitia Dorsey Magaha, and I am excited to be here tonight. It is 9:02, and it is May the 28th, and we are back for another amazing show. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Antonio Magaha. How are you tonight?
What's up? I'm cool. How about yourself?
I'm excited. I'm excited because we've closed out another school year, so that's good news. Even though I have to go back into the building, the kids are gone, and it is another school year for the books.
You said you have to go back into the building?
Yeah, I have to go back into the building. I have some leadership work things I have to do, but other than that, no more kids until July.
Yeah. We're here. We made it. We made it.
I'm not even going to try to think about it. Even though they pushed school to July now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I saw where they were before we got out there throwing around the idea of possibly shortening the school days or hours or something. I don't know how serious. I hadn't heard anything else about it, but I think that would be definitely good option for the kids and students. Day is way too long. The school day is way too long. It's way too long.
Well, from my understanding, they'll probably shorten it because I think they are trying to or have set out a new bill where you can work full time as a 14-year-old.
Wow.
So you know that's gonna take everybody, right?
Full time as a 14-year-old. I didn't see that. Nah, that's wow. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, that's gonna take you out to them fields to pick that fruit.
Wow.
And unfortunately, our young people don't even realize how they've been sold. A lot of them have been sold on the idea that they don't need education. So yeah. Yep, going backwards every day.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I didn't. That's a new one. I'm lost on that one. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, if you're out there listening and you have little small children, please, for the love of everything that we have worked so hard, please tell your children that education is really, really important. It's critical.
Yeah, it's wow. Yeah, it's important. It's definitely important. I don't know. That was heavy. 14 years. I'm still.
Oh yeah, I thought you heard that. That's the latest. 14-year-olds can work full time.
Wow.
We'll
see how that works.
Somebody got to pick the oranges.
Well, these kids, I don't know. These kids definitely are not. They're different, so I don't know. We'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, on another note, we have an amazing artist on tonight's show. I'm really excited. On the B Lifestyle Radio Show, we interview artists. We talk about lifestyle things. We do a lot of things. And tonight is a music night, and I'm super excited. We have an artist born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Kansas. An American rap artist that combines fierce lyrical prowess and commanding stage presence with charismatic versatility and timeless appeal. She seamlessly merges bold, energetic rap with soulful, empowering anthems, creating a powerhouse musical presence that's both raw and irresistibly magnetic. We have Micke DeCosta tonight. How are you this evening?
Whoop, whoop. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good. Good to have you.
Yeah, nice to be here.
So before we get into these questions, So, is this your first interview for this week?
Yeah, it's my first interview.
Not your first interview ever, just for this song.
No, it's my first interview ever.
Woo! I need a bell.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, for our listening audiences, I started to say something, when it's your first time, it's, fruits involved, shared. Anyway, I'm super excited that we get to be your first interview. That is amazing. Woo,
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah.
Well, no worries. I call it a conversation. It is going to be the easiest thing you've ever done, and it's going to be over before you know it, and then you're going to be wanting to come back again, and we'll have you again.
All right.
If you are listening tonight and you want to tap in, all you got to do is say so. This is a conversation. We are respectful on the show. We are all views are listened to, and it's a great time. It's a great time. Antonio, do you know this star that we have on our show tonight?
Yes, I do. I met Micke. Well, was that 5-6 years ago? We were part of a writing, music writing camp called Writing Sessions America. So I think I met her about 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago or more. Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I know, I follow your Instagram, and again, thank you for being here, Micke. How are you feeling in this moment? I know that you posted something about your father's birthday today, his heavenly birthday. I imagine there's a lot of emotions for you. How do you feel in this moment?
Well, my father's birthday was actually yesterday when I released the song.
Okay.
And it took me a while. I posted the part about his birthday late because it was just every time I even just thought about it, even thinking about it now, it had me choked up. My dad been gone a long time, and just being out and doing music and moving in the way we're moving has just been a dream of mine for so long, but life, things happen, and I just been riding the wave with God, you know what I'm saying, letting God, like they say, had a wheel. And, when you get to a point where you finally see things come to light that you always felt inside, like, what happened, like it feels good. And for the stars to align for me to be able to do that in conjunction with my father's heavenly birthday, what I'm saying? It was just, it's just undescribable. No, it just happened that way. I'm telling you, things are just lining up for me in a way that it's just hard to describe. It just happened that way.
That's awesome. Let's take a moment to honor him. What kind of man was your father, and what pieces of him do you carry with you, not just in life, but in your music?
Man, my father, he was a particular kind of man. He liked things in a certain way, in a certain order. And I think even though I'm a veteran, I get some of that from that, but a lot of that drive and that discipline and that extreme focus I get from my father. I watched him build himself from the ground up, coming from the streets, and he went to school, got several degrees, a bachelor's, a master's. He opened up daycares. He had property, you know what I'm saying? And I could just remember seeing him sit at the table, getting it all together, and that's something I always wanted for myself. Like, my daddy can do it, I could do it, So a lot of that bleeds over into me, my militant kind of mindset, my discipline, my focus, my charisma. I got to add that. He was a charismatic man. He was a player. I get that from my pops.
Not a player.
Yeah, Pops was a player. I get that from my Pops.
So he would. Were you doing music? Oh, you say he's been gone a long time. Like before you even got to do music.
Yeah, I can remember when I wasn't even I wasn't even thinking about music back then. I was trying to make it out of high school at the time. I mean, I would rap and stuff like that, but it wasn't nothing that I would bring to my dad because, you know, how rap was, you know. I ain't want to bring that to my dad, but I remember one time I tried to sing, and he said, well, baby, keep trying. Yeah. He said, baby, keep trying. And Daddy, guess what? I kept trying, baby, and we here. We doing it. I kept trying.
When did you, at what point did you you become clear, like, man, I got a knack for this, like I'm good at this, and then decide that you wanted to make it or take it a little more seriously?
So I started out as a poet. I would always write poetry and stuff. And I can remember when I was in the military, I would let, like, some of the other soldiers I work with hear, like, my poetry. And this one time I was deployed in Afghanistan, and we was just rocking out one night, and I was just, you know, reciting my poetry, and my friend told me that her husband did music. So then that's when we linked together, and that's when I learned, like, to put my poetry, like, in the rhythm.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, that's how it started. And after so long of putting, like, that poetry with the rhythm, the reaction I would get from people would always tell me that, you know, I should dive deeper into it. You know what I mean? So I'm really born from the energy and the vibe of the people who rock with me, you know, the fans or whatever you like to call them. They drive me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we rock with this, we like this, and just to see how people respond to it, you know, that's what kept me going. That's what got me into it, and, you know, propelled me to keep going.
That's dope. That's dope. That's crazy. Like I kind of started writing songs the same way. I was actually in school, and I was at this. I participated in this program out in Arizona. Years, man, what's 94? 90? No, 90, 98. I think 90. Anyway, I woke up one night and, like, these words were just flowing, and I could not go to sleep. It was so crazy, and I wrote like pages and pages and pages of poetry that night, and then, like, the next night, I guess I just started, like, coming up with these melodies. Even though I've been around music my entire life, like, I never really thought or considered myself, like, a songwriter, or even thought that it would be something that I would be doing. Not in that regard. But that night is kind of like, so that's interesting. But that's dope. Really dope. Really dope.
Yeah, and it's beautiful when it come together like that, because it was like it was a marriage I had never experienced before. Something that just came from deep inside of me can marry so well with something that came deep from inside of somebody else, and then the way them things just merged together, like, that's an act of God, if you ask me. That's an act of God.
Oh, definitely. When we talk about creation, the act of creating something, that taking nothing and turning it into something, absolutely. God, like, yes. So you're from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's a place with a lot of history and a lot of heart. How has your Southern roots shaped your voice and your style?
You know, I left Pine Bluff when I was early on, but you never really notice how where you from attaches itself to you until you're in the presence of, like, a third party. You know what I mean? So I would be around, you know, doing my thing, and people would make mention to how Southern I sounded and, you know, things like that. And it wasn't until, like, again, I hear from other people what their experience of me is, and I do stuff like with my cousins. We get together every Tuesday, and to watch my family and see, you know, how much we alike, like that swag, that grit. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff that's Pine Bluff. My sayings, the way I say stuff. I have my friend Carla cracking up all the time about just how I put stuff. You know, how I word things, you know, and I think that's a big thing that people like about my music as well, is just how I put some of them words together. That's Pine Bluff all day.
Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Was music always a part of you growing up?
No. I was introduced to music through one of my mom's boyfriends, he did music. So he would have, like, instrumentals and stuff laid around the house. You know what I mean? And it was like I was introduced to vibing with instrumentals through the music he would have lying around the house. But I was never, like, one who studied music. You know what I mean? It was just, music has always been just like an extreme emotional explosion for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I started out as a poet, you know, so. But, yeah, that was my introduction to music, is instrumentals to my mom's boyfriend.
Well, what was your first song that really spoke to you as a kid, or the first, can you remember your very first song?
Yeah, it was Eminem's Cleaning Out My Closet. Eminem's Cleaning Out My Closet. It was just the way he could tell his story unapologetically from his perspective. And come on, it's Eminem. You know what I'm saying? And the way that man got in there and put that thing together, and just raw expression, it's like you could be there, you could see it. I love music you can see. You know what I'm saying? And with that song, it's like I was coming out the closet with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, yeah, man, express it. Get it, because I understand, you know, how heavy stuff could be on you sometimes. And to be able to get it off like that in such a masterful way, it got me. It was Eminem, Cleaning Out My Closet all day.
Oh, man, I have a special person on right now, DJ Sean. Hey, how you doing? This is the myth, the legend, the myth, the man, DJ Sean. How you doing?
I'm good.
What's up, bro?
What's up? Light skin. She is country, boy. Woo.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
We ain't got into this country song. I hadn't even listened to the song yet. You know, country music now, it's really interesting because black people have always done country music, always. Somebody might argue that, you know, we started it just like we start everything else.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
Does it mean for you to be in that country music space? What does it mean to you as an artist to take up space there?
It feels natural. I never thought to put myself. I'm not one to put myself in boxes. Period. You know what I'm saying? That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I come undefined until I'm defined. You know what I'm saying? So with the whole country thing, I never thought to put myself in that box until, again, hearing the feedback that I would get from people and what their experience of me was, it just made sense. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That's the South. That's the country South. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's natural. It feels natural. It was like that transition into that was meant to be. It had my name on it.
Do you think it's something that you're going to, like you just said, that you are undefined until you are defined? Is this a lane that you're going to stay in, or are you just going to, you know, whatever your artistic?
Baby, I'm a ride it till the wheels fall off. I'm a ride it till the wheels fall off, okay? Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a minute and let's listen to Ride. This is your first single, correct? Ever?
Yes.
Your first single, your first interview, and we are getting to share it with the listening audience tonight. It just came out yesterday. We are listening to Ride.
About to handle again. Time to hitch my ride, I'ma travel the land. I suppose a home for a loner is Rome on my soul, I'm a Trojan. I pull up my stakes, hit the gravel, sun beaming on me. I let my brim have it, boots on my feet. I see different breed about it, strapped to my seat that I keep every time that I ride.
All right. That was Ride. Micke DeCosta. You can get that. Where can anybody get that? Where's it located?
On all streaming platforms. All streaming platforms. Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube. Where else? Deezer. All everywhere.
So, when I first heard it in the parking lot, a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta share this because it is catchy. It makes you want to do a line dance. It is upbeat. It's enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable song. When you sat down to write this, what came first? The beat, the hook, the feeling? Tell us about that process.
So I believe I was in the car, and I was driving somewhere, and I love driving. I love driving fast too, and I probably was just listening to the instrumental and, riding, and just the energy from that. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, and just the energy from that ride that day, it brought probably the hook first. Yeah. Yeah, I think the hook came first on that one.
Okay. Did you do this song by yourself, or are there more people involved?
So I actually worked with a lady by the name of Tanya Staples Rogers. I am also a sync artist. And so she got me into this lane of doing music for TV and film and ad and, things of that nature. And so every song that I do, I collab with Miss Tanya on.
All right. Is she on tonight?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Tanya. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think about Ride?
Oh, I love it. It's authentic to who Micke is. It helps the world to know that country music isn't just it's not just a genre. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life, and I think he just introduced a way of life, not just a song. Like she said, she enjoys riding, so it was a vibe.
I heard you sign over there, Sean. You got a question?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. What you think about Ride, DJ Sean?
I like it. Needs to be a little longer. I love it.
Isn't it too short? I thought so too.
Yeah.
It's over before you.
Yeah, like 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes and some change. Yeah, because.
So, as you mentioned, that a lot of the songs that we make them with sync in mind for TV and film, particularly the lane that we aspire to really be in heavily is the ad lane, and in that space.
Hello?
You broke
breaking up.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
The devil messing with your phone tonight.
Look.
Hello, boy. It's we've got some technical difficulties happening right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I understand, Miss Tanya. I understand that lane as well too, but your radio lane is what's going to make that music cross over to mainstream, and especially as a talented country song, you got to think about that as well too, because your radio songs help get you into film as well too, if it's pushed right.
I'm not sure if we lost everybody.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, Micke, you still okay? I think we lost. Maybe she hung up to call back.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I did kind of get the Ford Bronco feeling though.
Ford Bronco.
Ford Bronco. You know, you can hear it.
Oh,
Definitely, definitely hear it. In a commercial way. I definitely that Ford Bronco truck.
Oh, yeah. I like them things, especially what they call them, the black diamonds. That thing's so sexy.
Antonio, what'd you think about Ride?
Oh, I told her that night I heard that was a hit. It was dope, super dope. Yeah, I mean, ever since I met you, though, the music that I've heard you do, you've been a dope artist to me. So, congratulations and keep pushing, keep being dope.
Thank you.
So let me see. Are there any listeners who have any questions about Ride? Anybody want to make a comment who's on right now? Any listeners? And if you are listening, you're listening to the Be Lifestyle Radio Show, and we have Micke DeCosta on, and we are talking about her brand new single, Ride, available on all streaming platforms. I'm, again, super excited. I need a little bell. Ding, 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 ding. We are the first. She was here first.
Woo, woo. Can y'all hear me now?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
I'm so sorry. I guess it's the weather. I had to shut my phone off and start over.
Is it raining where you are?
It is, yeah.
And where are you?
I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta proper, like Southwest Atlanta.
Okay. All right.
Well, y'all keep that rain down there. Let it stay down there. Don't send it to Charlotte.
It's been raining for days now.
Yeah.
Off and on. Thunderstorms. Off and on. So I'm sorry. So before you logged off, you were telling us about the lane, the sync lane.
Yeah, in the ad space. In the ad space, the songs are generally no longer than 2 minutes. And even now, with new music that's going out, new artists are making songs that are like 2 and 2.5 minutes. They're saying that the attention span of the listener has reduced significantly. So, yeah, they're pretty much asking for songs to be no more than 2.5 minutes these days.
Antonio, you remember that time? What was that song you wrote? It was 6 minutes long.
It was a couple of them, yeah. A couple of them.
Writing them like Earth, Wind, and Fire. 7-minute songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore. But there was a time for sure.
Yeah, so she has some coming that are longer than that, but generally they're going to be close to 2 minutes. They may be maybe 2.5, a little over 2.5, but for the most part, they're going to be somewhere between 2 and 2.5 minutes.
Okay, because I definitely could get into that song a little longer. Have you ever thought about doing a remix, an extended version?
Micke?
For sure. Cause I'm getting that. My uncle said the same thing. He was like, "Is there an extended version?" I told him, I said, "No, man, you just got to put that thing on repeat." But definitely, I'm open to this lane that God is opening up for me. You know what I mean? And if that's how things work out, I'm rocking with it. With it. But like you said, we got a couple of them that got a little more length on them, and going forward, I can push them out a little bit.
My opinion, I think that song needs to be a little, done and a little longer, because that song has potential crossover and it can get on radio. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about internet radio. I'm talking about mainstream radio as well too, because it's a rare country song, and we don't have. I'm not talking about Beyonce and her country music and stuff like that. That was a cover. This is authentic. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hers was a cover. Your song is authentic from the heart. You follow what I'm saying? That's a difference. Yeah.
So you, in your title, Ride, The Unknown, you called it The Unknown, a space that's uncertain and maybe even uncomfortable. What does that represent in your life, the unknown?
Just where I am right now. Like I said, this is my first single. It's my first interview. It's my first time even thinking about being in the sync space. And just where I am right now, God, I keep bringing God up because I mean that's what this all is. You know, it's just opening up stuff for me that He's saying. You know, you told me you'd follow me, and this is what I'm presenting in front of you. Are you gonna go, or are you gonna hold on to the things that you thought defined you, that made you comfortable? You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go with God every day. And when you go through them transitions and you moving with God, you don't know where you're going. You don't know how it's gonna add up. You're not in control. You can try to make a plan or get some kind of control over it, but God gonna laugh at you. He gonna get your hand off of there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just the time I'm in right now is me riding the unknown.
I love that.
As an artist, Mickey, I hear you talking about what I hear you saying is you learn to let go and go with the flow. How long did it take you to get into that space? Because you've always kind of been like that. Well, I'm just gonna go with the flow and
no, sir.
And whatever. But what brought about that change and is understanding that once you move in that way, that things just flow much more smoothly.
Well, if I can go deep with you, I hit a 7-year depression.
Wow.
Was it in 2013? 20. Yeah, it was around 2012, 2013. And I was getting out of the military. Even going into the military, my father had passed. So that whole time I was in the service, I was trying to figure stuff out, bucking up against the system, and that's one system you can't buck against. So, and moving in that, oh my God, I forgot the question. What was the question again?
So no, we're just saying basically, you definitely the letting go. You seem like you comfortable. Yeah.
So I went through a 7-year depression where I learned that I had no control. I had no idea what was happening. All the things that I was trying to make move for myself just wasn't moving, and God sat me down. It was like my hands were tied, and in that moment I gave it to God. I said, I admit I don't know everything. I don't know where I'm going, and I can admit I'm moving with extreme rage and confusion, and that's just whatever that added up to is not what I wanted for myself. But I couldn't imagine. It was, man, everything I was going through at that time was so extreme on me. I could not see outside of that bubble, and I knew God put it in me to know that, like, I couldn't do anything without him. So in that 7-year depression, like right towards the end of that is when I met Kevin Sean and was in writing sessions. All the times y'all saw me in writing sessions doing music and stuff, I'm fighting the water. And in that I learned, if you just sit still in God, everything work out perfectly. And it's like I didn't create this, so I can't mess it up. So all that anxiety and pressure that comes from trying to have control over things that you have no idea about, it was released. It was released for me. And for me, once I got into that space, I was like, I'm not trying to go back. Ain't nothing better. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That's the only way. And then God just started working with me with my anxiety and with not knowing, and to know when to push and when to rest, and just learning balance. That's what God brings into your life, especially in transitions. He brings a balance. And most times when that balance comes, it's the extreme opposite of whatever else you was just going through. And with that, imagine going from one extreme to the other. You don't know. You have no idea, and you have to walk that path to completion. So that's where I am. That's how it's going.
Wow.
Dope.
That is.
Thank you for sharing that. That's super dope. Yeah. For sure.
And that's definitely for our listening audiences. We do a lot of shows. I do a lot of shows about healing and those kind of things, that don't necessarily have to do with music per se, but everything has to do with healing. everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so definitely thank you for being transparent with that.
No problem.
So, what would your recommendation be for anybody that's listening and are feeling that anxiety about which way is life going and presented with, difficult decisions and those kind of things? What will be your like elevator pitch to them? What will be your one liner for them?
Go with God.
Mm-hmm.
Go with God, because like I said, we don't know everything. The anxiety is hard, but if you remember, oftentimes I have to remind myself to pray, and then like after I pray, just the feeling, the weight just shifts from me when I pray. It's like, dang, if something going too crazy, it's because I done forgot to pray. You got to keep that you got to keep that connection open, and you got to learn how to walk in it. It's like any other relationship. If you ice your lover for 6 months, when y'all come back together after that 6 months, it's going to be weird. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all done did 6 months of growing, and y'all don't know where each other is. You know what I'm saying? When you constantly walk with God, it gets better and better and better. And everything ain't the devil. I just felt the need to say that. A lot of people say, oh, the devil trying to do this. The devil, everything ain't the devil. Sometimes it's God trying to shift something up out of you, yank something up out your hand that you got this crazy grip on, and you done justify why. You know what I mean? But the longer you talk with God and say, you know what if I don't know? Let's just say I don't know. Let's see how this goes this way. And once you learn that, man, shoot, you'll be a soldier in it. You'll be dancing. I call it dancing in the rain.
I want to say, you say you served in the military, and Memorial Day was this week. So we thank you for your service. Even though memorials for those who are our service people who have gone on. How long did you serve?
It was about two months shy of 5 years, and I was in the Army.
Okay. What did that do for your life, being in the Army? What did you get out of that? How did it add or take away from who you are?
The Army saved my life. It gave me, it may sound crazy because it's the Army, but it gave me a safe landing zone for that time. Because like I said, I started counting my depression soon after I got out the military. I didn't have nothing. I wasn't defined as a soldier no more. I didn't have really nothing going. And if it wasn't for the military, I probably would have hit rock bottom way sooner than I did. But it gave me something to land into that I could start to build from versus just falling all the way down flat on my face. To this day, the benefits of the United States military is helping to maintain me. It's what allows me to have the freedom to do music the way I want to and when I want to, So, the military was a safe zone. It was a landing zone for me.
That's good. A lot of times, I work with kids, I work with students, and I know for Black people, it's a touchy subject sometimes about but everybody has their own destinies, and what's for you is for you. So I don't ever try to discourage anybody from making those kind of decisions, because although it might not have been for me, it's for somebody.
Yeah. I definitely would recommend it. Because like I said, coming from Pine Bluff, man, I had no, ain't no telling what it would have been like had I not had that option to go to. And I was just looking around like, man, I got to get something done. My dad had passed away. He had businesses that was falling under the ground. And the best thing I could think of, I was like, well, I know if I go to the military, they're going to get me straight. They're going to line me up. You know what I mean? And sometimes we need a good lining. So I would recommend it. It's just like anything else, with the politics and everything else that come with it. But like I said, if you're going with God, you'll be fine. I got in there, and I was lucky enough to only deploy one time, even though we had like a combat situation and stuff like that. God got me out alive, So I would recommend it.
So you talk about Pine Bluff. Tell us about because to be honest, I don't know anything about Pine Bluff.
Mm. And you want me to tell you something about Pine Bluff?
Yeah. Tell our listeners. Give us some background about Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Well, like I said, I left when I was young. I was like 17 when I left. So all I know is the streets part of it. And you don't want no part of that. You don't want no part of that. We all know what the streets is the same anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing in them things for you. Nothing. So that's the best I can tell you about it because, I got out.
Antonio, you ever been to Arkansas?
Never been. I think when we were talking, I remember back in the day, hearing a lot about the gangs and stuff. So Arkansas, I don't know if it's transitioned a great deal now, but Arkansas used to be really, really rough. Yeah, but I've never been. Never been.
And I'm sure you can get out of the city what you put into it. I just wasn't putting much of nothing into it. You know what I'm saying? So from my perspective, I'm hanging with the knuckleheads. I'm the knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? So,
Have you ever gone back? Is that something that is part of your plan, going back to talk to the young people, or?
Oh yeah. When I was there, I could look back. Now I can look back and see that I didn't have an outlet, man. All this stuff I'm doing now, I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have an outlet. I would have friends, and I would go back home with them, and Newark, New Jersey and stuff, and we would pass schools that were music schools, like a middle school. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Like, you got music in your school like that, you know what I mean? And if I could have had something like that when I was coming up, I feel like, because I was looking for something bigger to belong to. I always have, you know what I'm saying? And
I think
what's that?
I said, I think that's a lot of people looking for something to belong to.
Right. And if I had fell into the hands of music back then, oh man, things would be up. So that's what I want to do. That's my long-term goal. I want to go back home. I want to open up a performing arts studio where we teach children how to rap, sing, write, act, all the arts. And I want to add something extra to it. I want to teach the families how to run a business, how to manage a child star, and be able to make your own money, you know what I'm saying, and give them a business sense as well, so that the kid isn't abused. We build the whole system. We can't just take the child, because what's the home like when they go back? We got to do something with that home life too, and give them something to be active in. And that's my plan. I want to open up Eve's Music Group. That's the name of my publishing company. And I also want to put that on my performing arts studio, go back home and give back, so that we don't have no more Micke DeCosta's running around there not knowing what to do.
I love that. Many, many blessings to you on that.
Thank you.
That's real dope.
In the country music arena, what is this young? I can't think of the guy who just won American Idol.
Jamal.
Did you see where he took his money, like, I don't know how much, $500,000, and he donated it to his school in Mississippi to rebuild it?
I know. I didn't see that.
Every penny. Yep.
That's living right there. That's living.
American Idol. Yep. He's taking his money and rebuilding whatever school the neighborhood in Mississippi he came from. So that's
big up to that man.
Yeah, because we all come from a place, and if we can all give back, like, everything will be straight.
I agree.
So let me ask you, back to the music. Have you ever felt pressure to pick a side, like between rap or country, or how do you navigate that?
I don't do boxes. I don't do boxes, and I'm dare to say probably because I wasn't one to like study music like that. I don't even know where the boxes are. You know what I'm saying? You know, to even no, I'm not doing that. I want to do what's authentic to me, and you know, put it out there in the market where it makes sense. So when it comes to choosing the side, I can't. I'm both. You know, I'm all things. I'm everything at all times. You know what I mean? So to limit myself to a box would be a disservice to who I was born to be. So couldn't get me to pick a side.
That's what's up. Well, we're gonna take a little station identification break, and I'm gonna go back to we're gonna listen to your song again, and I think I've torn up my mouth. And when we come back, we're gonna have some more questions. We'll take some questions. If anybody in the listening audience would like to ask a question, feel free to do so. You are listening to the B Lifestyle Radio Show. I am your host, Letitia Dorsey Magaha, and we will be right back.
About to handle again. Time to hitch my ride, I'ma travel the land. I suppose a home for a loner is Rome on my soul, I'm a Trojan. I pull up my stakes, hit the gravel, sun beaming on me. I let my brim have it, boots on my feet. I see different breed about it, strapped to my seat that I keep every time that I ride till I can't ride no more. Take a tour through the unknown.
Welcome back to the B Lifestyle Radio Show. I'm your host, Letitia Dorsey Magaha, and I am interviewing Micke DeCosta and her brand new, just released yesterday, single Ride, The Unknown. Welcome back to our show, Micke.
Yeah.
So, how you feel about this interview? How's it feel on you?
Oh, I'm loving it. Look, I'm pacing back and forth up the street like I do when I'm talking to my cousins and my family. Like I feel at home.
Yeah, I love it. So when you were writing this song, let me ask you a question. Who's singing? Is that you singing too?
So it's me on the hook. We got Delina Hill in the backgrounds. Ride, 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 ride. And we got Miss Tanya in there with the low notes. When I move, I'm on cruise. Yeah, and it's us three on there.
Do we have Delina? Is Delina in the house?
I'm always in the house. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Delina, how are you?
I'm great.
So tell us about, tell the listening audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Delina. I'm a singer, songwriter, author, all things creative, and I'm just glad to be a part of the ride. You know, I met Micke and Antonio during writing sessions. I think I was part of her first boot camp,
we've been locked in ever since, and I've seen her grow musically, personally, spiritually, and it's just been a good back and forth. I think I've helped her through some things. She's helped me go through some things. When she was talking about her walk, she helped me through some walks too. So it's just and she is authentically exactly what she says she is. So just believe that, and I'm just proud of her. I'm proud of her. Yesterday was a great day, a great way to honor her father, and like she said, the doors have just been opening up like unplanned. We went outside, and then the doors opened up. So, hey.
What do you
I'm honored and blessed to be a part of whatever the journey is. So
that's awesome. Your lyrics, your vocals sound really good. Is this for our listening audiences, is this your first project?
No, this is not my first. I can't even tell you how many projects I've been a part of.
It's not your first rodeo?
It's not my first rodeo. No. This is probably the first thing I have been on that's been actually released, though. I've done a lot of live concerts with different artists and people. I've done a lot of studio work, but nothing has been released like this. So this is still a first for me. It's still a first. I just show up. I'm like, what's needed to be done? I just show up, and we just work.
So how long did it take you to? Did you get the on the first take, or tell us about your process in doing the background for this?
Doing the background for this was a little bit different. As far as vocally, note-wise, I think I got it on the first round. My dilemma was I'm a Midwestern girl, so she's a Southern girl, country girl. I'm from the Midwest, and so we had to, Miss Tanya helped me tone down my Midwesternness to fit the country stylings that was needed for the song. So that took a little bit of a couple of takes to get to.
Share with our listeners, what does that look like? What does that mean? How do you take Midwest and turn it into country?
You go sit with a good vocal producer like Miss Tanya.
Okay, Miss Tanya.
And she walks you through it and works with you, and then she just told me, because everybody's different. Everybody hears things differently. I mean, I'm a quick learner, and I don't give too much pushback, especially when it's just something that needs to be done. It's just getting it in my head and blending in what was already there so that it marries well to what's already, like the purpose of the song. So I don't want it to just sound good. I want it to feel good and be right. So Miss Shine just came on through, just told me what to do, and I just kept doing it until it sounded like I was from Arkansas.
Let me chime in. Right.
Okay, because I was about to pull you in, Miss Tanya.
Yeah, Delina is she listens well, and she really executes well. So it was like it's a tone difference between the Midwest and the South. The way the words are pronounced. And so I just had to explain to her it's a wide sound. I ride, not I ride.
Ride.
You got to ride. You can't ride.
Yeah.
All property is out of the Miss Tanya, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where you from? Like how long have you been in the music industry?
Sure. I am I actually was born in Mississippi, but I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee, so I always say I'm from Memphis. That's the only place that I remember living in. So I moved to Atlanta in 2015 to pursue music on a more professional level. I had been doing live music for a long, long time, and just like, like there are churches and liquor stores on every corner in some cities like Memphis like that, and there's also live music on just about every corner, a lot of opportunities to sing live, but there's no industry there. So I moved to Atlanta in search of an industry connection, and I too landed at writing sessions. So I think maybe after Antonio was mentioning, I was there in 2019, so it looks like you probably have known Micke probably 7 years, because I came in 2019 and brushed up on my skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's that?
No, you were saying, were you about to say something?
No, I was about to ask, what part of Mississippi? I'm actually from Mississippi as well. What part of Mississippi are you from?
Oh, baby, I'm from a little town that has 3 stoplights. It's called Macon. It's in Noxubee County.
Okay, well, you might not be any smaller than the place I'm from. I'm from a little place called Tishomingo, Mississippi. It's right in the northeastern corner of Mississippi, near Memphis and Alabama and Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so mine is in the Golden Triangle. You may have heard of that, like Columbus. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 45 miles south, and like you were talking about Jamal Roberts, I think he's from Meridian, Mississippi.
Meridian, correct.
80 miles from Macon. Mhm. That's where I was born, where my mother was from, and she and my dad were in college when I was born. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Finished.
So
we started live in Memphis.
How are you enjoying the music scene in Atlanta?
Well, it's a little different than I expected. So before I came, there were some calls made from people, connects I had in Memphis, called their connects here, and, were like, well, she's coming, and this is what she does, and I want to recommend her. And they were like, okay, cool. When she comes, just give us a call, And then I called, and they were like, come to the open mic thing, and then next week, come to the open mic, and then the next week, come to the mic. And, I've been singing live.
Exposure.
Time.
Exposure is a buzzword down here.
Yeah, and so it wasn't my thing. It seemed like it was real cliquish, and it just wasn't my thing. So I started to focus more on writing instead of performing. I mean, because I didn't come here to do live music anyway. I came to connect with industry. So, it probably forced me to do what I came to do. And then I found out through Kevin Shine, I found out more about syncs, and I did a deep dive into it, and the rest is history. I got really enthralled with it and learned. I took some classes, and then I started partnering with artists like Micke. I remember Micke was laid on my heart. She keeps mentioning God. God laid her on my heart. And I reached out to her to say, have you given any consideration to being an artist again, And she was like, wow, I just decided last night. Me and Delina talked about it last night, So I feel like God inspired. Yeah, and
you breaking up.
Oh, not again. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, not again. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like it's all God inspired, and and again, like Delina said, I'm here for the ride. I'm really excited about it, and happy to know that there's some big things that will come that maybe we don't even know. It's some things that we're expecting to happen, but even outside of that, I'm sure there's some big things that we don't even have the words or the insight to even consider. Yeah. So I'm really excited about working with her. She's a phenomenal artist, and the best thing about her being such a phenomenal artist is that she don't even know how phenomenal she is. She's just being herself, and is just a natural, really killing the thing. She like, you got to help me with the song. So no, you got it. So like you asked about my background, I've raised 2 kids to be in the industry. I got a daughter that's a national recording artist. She's doing R&B, and then she does also background vocals professionally on the pop circuit. And then I have a daughter who's doing it like semi-professionally. She's done some recordings, but she's kind of taking a break. But yeah, so that's I got my training, really training them. You know, my mom taught me to sing, and then I taught them to sing, and they can out-sing me any day. But yeah, I just got a knack for it, I guess. I'm a natural producer.
They say you're true to this, not new to this.
Yeah, I'm definitely not new to it. Yeah.
So what would, from your perspective, for our listening audiences, if there are some, younger people or people that are looking to get into the industry, what's some things that you would recommend?
I think something that Micke mentioned earlier, having good mental health is essential for this business, being really grounded and having balance, having some type of connection with, whether you consider God or source or universe, whatever your thing is, to have some kind of connection that keeps you grounded, a place that you can go to get instruction and guidance, because it can be a rough business. It can be tough. I'm older than you guys and a woman, and I have found that sometimes in the industry I'm, treated differently for being a woman, for being older, and it really takes grounding to keep me from being, to quitting, really, after dealing with some craziness, people just deciding you too old to write the song, kind of stuff like that, it takes grounding and it takes a lot of commitment. It's not the kind of business that you do as a hobby, and I mean, unless that's what you want, but if you really want to go in it, you really got to commit to it, and it is really hard work. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of hard work.
I thought you said heart work, and I think that applies too, though. Yes, definitely something that is, if you're not in it for real, it'll sift you on out.
That's true. That is true.
Was that my co-host? Did you have something that you were trying to say, Antonio?
I'm sorry. I was trying to pick my son. You're saying, what was the question again? I apologize.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say something. I saw your box light up, so I thought you were trying to say something.
Oh no, I'm just listening. I'm listening. I'm definitely just taking in the gems and listening. Yeah.
I'll have to. When's the next song coming out? So we can have y'all on again. When is the next song coming out?
Whoa. So we got to sit down and plan that. We got, like she said, we got a lot of other things lined up, and it's just gonna have to make sense. But you can definitely follow me on Instagram at Micke DeCosta. I got links to my website and everything on there. You can join my mailing list to be on the list to be notified of my shows, my behind-the-scenes stuff, my interviews, and, things of that nature, and just stay tuned in.
Okay. When your listeners are listening to Ride, what do you want them to come away with? What do you want them to, come away with after hearing it?
Man, I just want us to be in good energy and good space. I mean, life be lifing sometimes. And like I said, with that control thing, sometimes ain't nothing you can do but put you on something good, and I'm hoping Ride is that's something good that you add to your day. And just let it ride. Let your day ride. Just let it process through you and let it go and be ready for the next one.
So if your father was here today, and what do you think he would say about Ride?
Man, I wish I knew. I wish I knew, but I know he'd be happy. I know he'd be happy for me. But that's something I wish I knew. that's one thing about not having my father. And like I said, I was young when he passed away. He had probably raised me for like 5 years. You know what I mean? So we still had some getting to know of each other. He was only 45 when he passed away. And it's things like that. That's what made yesterday so big. I couldn't even imagine the type of moment my dad and I would have had for me. But I wish I knew. I don't.
I can definitely relate. My father passed in 1998, and the person that I am today, I totally was not that person in 1998. And there are so many things that my dad didn't get to see because I was young. And, well, I mean, what was I? I was young. I was like, yeah, younger. Not older, younger. I was here in Atlanta, but so much of my growth. I mean, he's had to witness it from another place, but my accomplishments. My dad was there. Like I was a real knucklehead, so he got to see all of that, but not really get to witness the evolution of who I am. So I definitely
Right.
can relate to the feeling, and it's really, I don't know, crazy because the older I get, the more it's impacting me. Is not being here is impacting me more. It's greater as the time is going by than it was when it happened, when he passed away. So it's really weird. It's really weird, but I totally know. I mean, I can relate.
Yeah.
But for people who are, who are on, it it's a challenge to continue to make, to make them proud. I definitely, think about what I would want my dad to be like, what he would think, what he would say. Because my dad was full of wisdom, and he would always, tell me the right things to do, and he was the person who I could be honest with, like very, very honest. And he's the person who I really am. I really wish he could see me now. I really wish he could see me now.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Even like what you were saying, it hits you harder the older you get, because
Yeah.
like I said, I was around about, what was I, like 17 or 18 when he passed away, and like you said, I'm an older woman now. You know what I'm saying? And you grow to learn the significance of a father, man. And to just it's just different. It's different to me to be one of those girls who's walking the plane without a father. It's just it's a different type of something, because the discipline, the whatever I think I have of him, I would have had more of it. I would have been more locked in. I would have been more disciplined. I would have been more focused. You know what I'm saying? I would have been tougher. I probably would have been ready for the industry sooner. You know what I mean? With a father around. You know what I mean? It's important.
It's definitely the father's role, especially as we're coming up on, it's gonna be Father's Day. In a few weeks. The father's role is definitely like, I'm a mother, and so I do understand the importance of a mother's role. But the father, especially in our communities, his role is very important, and it is not to be taken lightly at all. I used to, and I tell this story a lot. I inadvertently, not on purpose, became a single mother. Like I was divorced, and I was a single mother, and it would be Father's Day, and people would be texting me Happy Father's Day, and I'd be like, no, 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 not. I am not a father. I am just a mother, and I am not even trying to take both credit for both those roles, because that's impossible. I'm just a mother, and unfortunately, I'm a single mother now. But I would never. I just thought it was almost blasphemous for me to take credit for a father. I just that's too much responsibility.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the fathers. Shout out to the
Yes.
out there. Keep being really good fathers, especially the daughters. My
Please,
dad
yes.
was such a great dad, and he really, I mean, just like every parent does, he shaped the way that I see people, that I see men. He shaped that, being an amazing dad. So it makes a difference.
Definitely.
We're going to take another short musical break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up. Listen, I have to tell my listening audience, right before the show, I had made a nice hot cup of coffee. I've been really going crazy with coffee, and I got to stop because coffee. But I made a nice cup of coffee that I spilled all over my mouse, and fortunately didn't get into my computer, but I'm having such troubles now, and it's too bad. We're going to take this short musical break, and we are going to listen to another one of our friends in this Southern musical role. We'll be right back.
I want to settle, 'cause they know to do it better. I don't want a Keisha, want a Pam or Deborah. And you can keep your baddie, God, this is with daddy. I want a grown-ass woman with a name like Jackie. I love how it feels to get a home-cooked meal. She don't play no games, she keep it real. She's such a lady when she in them streets. Rock me like a baby when we in them sheets. She don't like no gossip, she don't spill no tea. You better mind your business, don't talk about me. 'Cause I wanna settle, 'cause they know to do it better. I don't wanna Keisha, wanna Pam or Deborah. Then you can keep your baddie, who got issues with daddy. I want a grown-ass woman with a name like Gladys. I've had enough of those hot girl summers. Give me a warm winter with a grown-ass woman. There's something different when she talks, I listen. Mutual submission with no conditions. Beautiful and wise, and she aging like wine. Getting better with time, and I know she's all mine. I wanna settle her, 'cause they know to do it better. I don't wanna Keisha, wanna Pam or Deborah. And you can keep your baddie, God issues with daddy. I want a grown-ass woman with a name like Jackie. I wanna settle her, 'cause they know to do it better. I don't want a Keisha, want a Pam or Deborah. And you can keep your baddie, who got issues with daddy. I want a grown-ass woman with a name like Gladys. Deborah, where you at, where you at? Jackie, where you at, where you at? Gladys, where you at, where you at? Tammy, where you at, where you at? Sheila, where you at, and Sharon, where you at, where you at? Darlene, where you at, where you at? And Karen, where you at? I wanna settle her, 'cause they know to do it better. I don't want a Keisha, want a Pam or Deborah. And you can keep your baddie,
All right. You are listening to the B Lifestyle Radio Show. I'm your host, Letitia Dorsey Magaha, and that was Settler by Creole King. What y'all know about that Settler, y'all?
It's a joint. Settler. Is everybody still on?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Y'all know who that?
Creole.
Y'all know who that is, right?
That's Creole King, right?
Creole King, Creole the King.
Yeah, he's a great artist.
Yeah, we love Creole over here. It's very interesting that, one thing that a lot of you all have in common was, well, I think the thing that you all have in common is that you all met during writing sessions. And I think sometimes we look for one thing, and I think, as Mickey was talking about earlier, like when you let God orchestrate everything, that no matter where you are or what has happened, you understand that it's all for a purpose. And, as we what was that, a couple weeks ago where we ran into all of y'all again?
Mhm.
About a couple weeks ago, and here we are. And so, like you said, God's purposes for us, we don't even have any idea. Like, we have no idea.
Nikki, what would you say?
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just keeping a positive mind frame about everything. Even things that don't seem positive, there's always something that can come out of it, I believe. All right, go ahead, Antonio.
No, I was just going to ask Mickey, since she started doing music up until now, what would you say the most valuable lesson, or maybe one or two, or maybe three of the most valuable lessons you learned?
Valuable lessons I learned?
More than three.
Oh, you said three?
No, I said I started off with one, but I said maybe one or two or three, or however many. It's you have the mic.
Most valuable lesson. I say trust the people God give you. Because even like what you're saying with writing sessions, and we all came together on one accord for one thing, and just the way things have been lining up, and God been planting people in front of me. I never would have lined it up. I couldn't have lined it up better. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if it wasn't for, like, it was a friend of mine when I was at SAE in Nashville that took me to an event where I met Kevin Shine. I met everybody that I'm dealing with now through writing sessions. Y'all, Delina, my homegirl Carla, Miss Tanya. I met all y'all from that. And then Miss Tanya introduced me to Sync. God about to introduce me to Smoke. You know what I'm saying? The value of relationships. Like, that's the money. First of all, the relationships is the money. And then two, you have to trust, the people that God put in front of you, because we all come from, different walks of life, and it takes time to merge two people together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you trust that process, and trust, like I said, like Miss Tanya was saying, she literally called me the day after I had made a decision. When it ain't nothing but God, man, trust that. Run with it. So no matter what hiccups or anything that could come up, what God got you planted in is deeper than what your eyes can see in that moment. So trust the people God put in front of you, and your relationships is the money.
That's a quote right there. That's a quote. That's a T-shirt right there. Relationship is the money. Sometimes people go into that backwards, though, with talking about relationships. They're looking for something out of the relationship to get something versus looking for what they can give. And you can spot that. Well, I'm good at spotting it now, and nobody's or anything like that. But how do people what's the give and take on it, you know, for you with the relationship?
What you mean?
Like in terms of a person I used to work with used to talk about equal exchanges of energy. Like, what is the give and take? When is it too much give? When is it too much take?
Man, to me, it's too much. It's too much. You taking too much from me when my blood start boiling and I can't get it down. Honestly, it's you know what I'm saying? Anything that got me out of my box like that, where it's like, you know how you have like panic attacks and stuff? Like anything that disrupts like the balance of my energy, I'm going to question. Because why God give me something that's rocking a foundation that he putting in me? That don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I know I'm taking on too much. Giving too much. Do I want to say I'm new to giving? I don't think I've met my too much give. Unless it falls in that same pattern where it's just like you're trying to force something too much, and then your senses start picking up. What you think this person is after is not what they after. It's not, you know, it's not lining up. I'm a big person on alignment. When them scales start to shift too much, it's some got to come off, or something got to go on. You know what I mean? And then being in line with where, you know, God wants you. God, do I need to add something? Do I need to take something off? You know, if God say, no, you where you supposed to be, and the scale is tilted, then baby, that's you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to come off, or you're going to have to put some more on.
That's good. That's real good. You have, what's your next project? What do you have coming up?
My next project, we coasting right now. Like Miss Tanya mentioned, we got a lot of stuff behind the scenes that is working this way, so you can't really speak on too much of that stuff. But I definitely want to release some more music. The music video, everybody wants to dance to Ride, and that's what I'm trying to get lined up. So if you got one of them stepping groups that like to come up with little line dances and things like that, I'm looking for people like that, so we can get a line dance going for Ride, so we can have a video for it soon. And, yeah, that would be the next thing coming up, music video.
Man, you and I don't know if we talked about this outside, but you and Creole should come up. Y'all need to come out together with something.
Oh yeah, Creole, my dude. When you played this music before, I didn't know what to say because I didn't want to say nothing prematurely. But me and Creole talking about doing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? The other night when we was all together, I'm trying to peep him out like, you know, Creole, come on, let's work, let's do this thing. That man looked at me and said, Mickey, we're clearly dressed alike. Clearly it's gonna happen. Clearly it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's exactly how he sounds. Clearly. Yeah. You can hear him in your mind, boy.
Yeah. So we definitely, and I'm hoping we may even make a whole thing together, get in there and that thing just good, you know, and they keep going. Knock out a couple of them. Yeah.
That's dope.
What's your themes? Do you have any kind of themes that you are going to be working with in your music coming up?
Themes?
Yep.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you know, like, okay.
As we've been talking about daddies and everything, I wrote in my notes, write a daddy song.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My dad also passed. He passed in 2008.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that.
Come together on that and write a daddy song. A love to daddy.
And you trying to take me down through that, ain't you?
This is why we trust your team.
You know it's gonna. I gotta flip it to make it positive. So
right.
You know it's gonna be cool.
Oh, I want to throw my hat into the writing circle because I got plenty of daddy material like my dad. I got plenty to pull from on that.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
But remember when she said you have to trust people God put in your circle and in your life,
Mm-hmm.
that right there, how you see how Miss Tanya just sat there and she listened and she already has a plan. She already on the team.
Mm.
She's already on the team, so it's already in the works. And then somebody else chimed in. It's easy.
Mm.
We're already connected, and it's divine because that's just what time it is.
That's what time it's that time. Delina, what do you have? You got any projects coming up?
I don't have any projects coming up, but Miss Tanya, we done talked the past few weeks, and she about to put me to work. So I don't know exactly what all is going to entail, but I'll let you know. Like I said, things have just started happening, so, you know.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Was Carla on here? Is she
Yeah,
on here?
I think so. Let me see if she's still on. I think she's trying to say something.
Is she on mute?
No, she said she's not on mute.
I can hear them. They can't hear me.
She said she can hear y'all. Y'all can't hear her.
It's just a little faint. I can hear her a little bit.
Here, you want to just here you go.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm great. I'm just taking it all in and really listening. I'm excited. Shout out to Letitia and Antonio. Like everyone else on this call, I met everyone through writing sessions, and I won't be too long-winded, but I'm just really excited about tonight because I know Micke, and one of the things is I'm heavy on discernment, heavy on it, and because when I haven't been in the past, like Micke was saying, once you let go and let God, that's not just a cliche. It really is. It makes your life easier. And the thing about Micke is, I think Miss Tanya said it earlier, is the thing about Micke is that I don't think she really knows how great she is. And when I say great, I'm not talking about fame or money. Micke's not just music, it's ministry. And the scripture in the Bible says, many are called, but few are chosen. And one of the things that sometimes when people think about that scripture, they're like, oh, I'm chosen. The very people that brag about being chosen, if you really knew the difficulties that come with that and the faith that you have to have within God to be a chosen one, it's heavy as the head, and that, she is. And when I say that she's not just music, she's a ministry, because I've heard plenty of other songs out of her catalog, past, present. And I told her, I said, some boy and girl back in Pine Bluff that lives there now, even though you haven't been back since, for some time, you haven't lived there, but they're going to be inspired by you. I can get out too, And listen, we need that right now. Let's be honest. The world is a little shake-bake right now. So we need that light. I love it. My pastor once told a story. He said one of the reasons that God sent his son down to earth in the flesh is because when you're only surrounded by light, you don't know darkness. You don't know that you're a light until you have entered darkness. And I feel like Micke is a light, even if she don't know it yet. And the reason I can speak on that is because I've been told that about myself, and I didn't realize it until okay, you're a conduit, you're a bridge. So God is set up to where he's supposed to. There's somebody out there that he's supposed to bless through you. So if you don't make it, God says, I know the plans I have for you. So if you don't make it and you don't fulfill his plan, you're blocking somebody else's blessing that he's trying to bless through you. You're the conduit for their blessing, for them to get to their next level. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I know her story. I know her background. And so just to hear that in the music, and she's that person. Like, if you want to know who Micke is, listen to her music. She, this is her first single release, but she's got a heavy catalog. So, yeah, I'm just excited to be along for the ride, pun intended. And And, you know, however way that I can help, you know, she's one of those people. She really has a good heart. And I'm, like I said, I'm heavy on discernment. I've had to learn that, especially in my experiences and my line of work and things like that. So, you know, I'm just excited to help in any way I can, using whatever relationships I have to use or whatever tools at my disposal.
So for our listening audiences, are you involved in music? What is your relationship to music?
Mine personally, music and I, we've had a checkered past, music and I. But I realized, and I gotta, you know, as everyone else said, we all met through writing sessions. It was actually Kevin Shine that told me that. He told me when I was going through some things, you know, learning and growing in my profession and getting to where what I do for a living, he told me, he said, listen, this ain't just about you. You're a bridge. And I've heard that from countless people that I need to be in the business and behind the scenes as far as the music industry, because you're the bridge. You're the one that's that can help that person get that one meeting. Everybody is one meeting away, you know. And so if I can again help in that arena, and so that's what I'm trying to move into. I'm an attorney by trade, but I'm moving into the entertainment law space because something that troubles my spirit and vexes my soul, if you will, is the fact that a lot of times artists, not just artists, but our community, independent artists, I can't tell you how many open mics and performances I've been to, and I'm like, why isn't this person signed? Like, how is this possible? And so I am moving into that entertainment law space. Really because I want to be that person to get that meeting for someone who I really believe in it. Because the thing about it is, with me, a lot of people have talent, especially here in Atlanta. I'm here in Atlanta, and a lot of people got talent. But here's the deal. A lot of people ain't got the temperament. You can have the talent all day. If you ain't got the temperament, and temperament, that's an umbrella. Temperament includes the right heart, the right spirit, where people even want to work with you. I've seen people, literally talented individuals, ruin opportunities with heavy hitters in the industry simply because their attitude was foul. Don't nobody want to work with you. You're not malleable. You're not bendable. You know, you can't take constructive criticism. You take everything offensively and things of that nature. I've seen very extremely talented individuals, again, just ruin opportunities because ego got in the way. And I love it. My pastor once said ego is spelled EGO. That stands for you edge God out when you have an ego. And you edging yourself out a lot of opportunities. But Micke is definitely someone, like Delina said, and Miss Tanya said, she is who she is. She can't be nobody else. It's not possible. But you see her heart. You hear, you all have heard, it's not just her speaking about her story and everything like that. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just excited. And thank you to Letitia and Antonio, too, for even providing this platform. You know, there are a lot of podcasts and this, that, and the third out there and all that kind of stuff, but the questions you ask and how you get in depth with the artists, because I've found that I personally think that a lot of people, fans of music, whether you're a fan of whomever, Beyonce or whatever, people can relate to that person, whether they can relate to them personally or they can relate to them because that's who they aspire to be. Either way, you're inspiring people, and that's what music is supposed to do. So I'm excited. It's teaching me, too, because working with artists like Micke and other artists that I've met through writing sessions and other places, it's causing me to get my game up because I've had people come to me like, hey, can you review this? So I'm like, okay, well, now I got to learn and study to show thyself approved, right? So, you know, I one of the things I can relate to, and Micke, the reason why we're friends is because, and I relate to people who are on the spiritual level. As far as one of my favorite scriptures from 1 Peter is, you're a peculiar people, you're a royal priesthood, and to walk in that, to the world, you may seem weird, but you got to believe in yourself, especially in the music industry. You got to believe in you. You got to.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
I hate to, I think about the whole thing that's going on right now with the trial with Diddy and stuff like that, and excluding everything else. At the end of the day, my heart hurts for Cassie because this was someone who once had a dream and thought that she was working towards it, but that gift of discernment had to be heavy. And I definitely think that Micke has that foundation, like you said. Mm-hmm.
I think that in these cases, and it's really good to know that, like, a person like you is going to be representing, because this industry is so predatory. It's so predatory, and it's
from all angles.
From all angles, and when you listen and you look at unsung after unsung after unsung, and there's this common thread of like usury, pretty much, know.
And you know what it starts from? I'm gonna be honest with you. The sad part is, it says in the Bible, my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like God, one of the mandates that God has put on me is to give that knowledge and speak up about it. You hear, like you said, you hear the unsung. You hear about the TLCs and Prince and other artists who had Tony Braxton sold all these albums but went bankrupt because they didn't know. They had no idea. Hire someone to read that contract you're signing. You have no idea what that legalese means. Mm-hmm. And that's how they're going to get you. And
but it's unfortunate that people set themselves up to be friends and friendly, and I got your back, and I'm doing this for you. Don't worry about that. And, a young person who is perhaps, struggling, and this is their opportunity, like the big break, and really, you spend your whole life. It's just amazing to me, these artists who are older now and spending their time fighting for their masters and fighting for the thing that belongs to them, and they got to fight for it. It's it's real sad and disheartening. But, with people like yourself and, other good people out there, it'll work out. It'll work out well. It's real exciting. I'm very excited that you're going into entertainment law because, people that's doing the right thing for the right reason with the right heart. So we thank
Indeed.
you.
I appreciate that. And you as well, even having this platform, like I said, this is what it takes. I hate to get preachy on my soapbox, but as we've seen with the current administration, it's going to take us relying on each other.
Oh, it's us.
Right.
DJ Sean was on here earlier. He gave me a platform. There was no strings attached. There was nothing. He didn't know me from a can of paint. And so he offered this to me, and I've been going with it. If you all get an opportunity, go online, add the Hilltop Radio Show. There's so much that is new artists that he breaks all the time, new artists and information. He's very much an information giver, not a gatekeeper. And we all know that word, gatekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
So, but people like him, one day it'll be this way that we will be back to helping each other, and the village that we used to be. I am very much in belief that the village that we used to have, we will have again.
Indeed.
All right. Antonio, were you going to say? Oh, Sean.
No, I pretty much, like Letitia said, open this up for the independent artists, the ones that need more exposure than what we already have in the industry. They get enough radio play. They get enough this. They get enough that. So what I use my ties with major labels and help get artists back into mainstream radio, mainstream college radio, things like that. And one of my mentors, he's been in entertainment law for over 50 years, which is Rick James's brother. That's my mentor. I go to him for any legal advice that I need on moving forward on certain things that I do on my program to keep from getting sued. So,
Yep.
yeah. Because this industry now is sued happy, even with the samples. Now you have to watch the samples that you use now and things like that. And that's what I tried. And I bring the executives, the record labels, the distribution people to. I bring them to my show and they explain to the artists free what they need to do, how they need to do it, what they need to do it, and also they give them their information to have them reach out to them for them to help them. So it's not always about a dollar; it's about who you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just want to say this real quick, Letitia. I was interviewing Antonio, and his wife happened to be on the call. And I was just listening to her talk, and I was like, damn, she got a nice radio voice. And I think I reached back out to Antonio the next day and asked him, I said, man, your wife interested in having her own radio show? And what, it's been 2 years now, a year now, something like that.
It might be almost 2 years now.
Yeah, and she's been doing it ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, it was such an amazing opportunity for me, and it was a dream that came back around because I used to want to be in TV and radio in high school, and I was discouraged from a teacher of mine. I wanted to be in broadcasting, and so this came back around, and I was like, oh wow, a dream that I used to have. That's
crazy. Delina got a similar story like that.
Yeah.
Is she still on here?
That is very crazy. I didn't know that about you.
What? Oh, what's the story?
Broadcasting, and I wanted to do broadcasting. We had a radio show in my high school, and we had a whole program for broadcasting. And my high school counselor, discouraged me because she said it wasn't a real career. And in every stage of my life, I've done something in broadcasting on some level. And I really feel like my own counselor, the ones who's supposed to help you,
wow.
I feel like I could have been a lot further along in my career had I just done that initial class in school, done that program. So even from the engineering and during the pandemic, I learned how to engineer, and I've done several broadcasts of my own. In different areas and whatever, so it's just crazy how that works.
I know that's wild. Like, I wanted to go to Specs Howard broadcasting school, but the teacher I had, she just, completely dashed that dream. But if we, on the other hand, if we're gonna ride, God know the ride, right? Ride, we're gonna ride this word out. And all the things that were supposed to happen the way they were supposed to happen, with who they were supposed to happen, because, if it was supposed to be different, it would be. And that's just Absolutely. It. And we wouldn't even be having this conversation if,
Right.
No, I think about that too, because even as far as my artistry, I was almost out with a whole bunch of other people who are actually out. And then just like Carla was saying about the contracts and stuff, and then you look back, their contracts sucked. And I had contracts that sucked. I just didn't get to go anywhere with it, and I used to feel some type of way. But now I look back and I'm like, oh, I would never sign that today. And I've still learned what I've learned, and I think just now all around I'm better equipped to go where I always wanted to go and do what I've always wanted to do. I have the tools now and the right mindset and the right people behind me, and everybody has a role, and nobody's trying to take over anybody's role. This is just what it is. So,
no ego. The ego has been done away with.
You got labels now that prey on artists like Micke and sign them and put them on the shelf for as long as they can, so no one else isn't, reaching them and getting them out there. Some of these labels do that today, and there's nothing that. And these artists, they don't get the legal counseling to help them through that process. They so impatient. The word today is impatient with some of these artists. They so impatient that they sign their soul away, and then they're sitting for 2 or 3 years and they can't do nothing.
Yeah, just for a deal.
Yeah, just for money or a couple of $1,000 just to sucker them in. Yeah. That's the reason why I stopped working with Sony and Universal, because of that. They were the contracts weren't worth a damn, pardon my French, and I said, well, I'm going to start going on a crusade and tell artists you don't have to be signed in order to make it successful. All you need is a strong PR, a strong street team, a good writer, a good producer, a good engineer, and good distribution behind you, and you got it right there. It is right there. You don't have to be signed to make it. You just got to have a group of people behind you that's going to push you. That's it.
Yeah. The signing, because, when people don't, like Carla said, they perish for lack of knowledge, because you can sign a deal that doesn't, like you said, that doesn't do anything. Because if they're not putting any money behind the marketing and they're not pushing it, you've signed a deal for nothing, to do nothing. That's worth nothing. So it's very important that, we begin. I work in a school. A lot of kids aren't, I don't really run across a lot of kids who say they want to be rappers or anything that much anymore, but there are places where the young people I know that if somebody came up to them with a piece of paper and a pen and said, here, I'm giving you a deal, they'll sign it. And they just don't, they need to be educated. We need to educate. Education is, they need to be educated.
A prime example of a group that should have made it. Go back and read the story about Troop. Prime example. Prime example. I used to manage them, so I know.
Man. I'm just gonna chime in real quick to agree with my brother there and say that, again, I'm not giving any views or anything, but I'm just using it as an example because it's the most recent one that's on everybody's mind that people can relate to. Recently, Cassie testified that she was locked into a 10-album deal with Bad Boy. That was one of the reasons she couldn't just walk. And she only put out, one album?
Yeah.
But because they had her locked into a 10-album deal, she couldn't even go nowhere to put out more music.
What's the name, too? Tribe Called Quest with Sony. They finally put out their last album a couple years ago just to get out the contract.
That part.
Yeah.
Somebody else, Tupac, was locked into a contract.
Yeah.
So at the time when Dr. Dre and all of them were walking away from death row, Tupac couldn't walk because he had paid. Suge got him paid for the label. Actually, the label was the one that paid for Tupac to get out of prison on the agreement that he would be signed to a certain album deal with Death Row.
Snoop,
and he was locked in that contract.
Snoop Dogg, too.
Wow.
Yeah, he had to put out, 11 albums? And if not, he had to still pay Suge, and he had to put out, that's why he was putting out all them albums out a year just to get out of that contract.
Right.
Yeah. What? Who did? Didn't Marvin Gaye do the same thing?
So, I was going to mention that next, and I'm just using these examples to show how our people, again, lack of knowledge, don't know the gravity of these contracts. You're locked in, and like my brother just stated, if you don't complete the terms of that contract, they can sue you. The label can sue you for the damages. And like you just said, Marvin Gaye's estate got a bunch of money. Like my brother just said earlier about samples. That's that's a contract because Pharrell and Robin Thicke had to pay back royalties to the Marvin Gaye estate because y'all sampled hey, and all, you know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's serious.
And his daughter ain't playing. His daughter.
And I love that for her. She's not playing about her father's estate.
Well, I think, as they getting wiser, hopefully, and I don't know. I can't watch any more Unsungs without going, man, when are we going to catch the clue?
Right.
When are we going
to giving away intellectual property? Just giving it away.
Yeah.
That's what they brought in the song for to help the artists to understand the business of, of these record labels and how their close friends and managers and family were doing them. But a lot of these artists today don't take advantage of watching the unsung to get an understanding on what's going on. Then they go through it, and then you know what I mean. And then their whole career is backed up.
Right, and the danger of that, especially now, is it's a general maxim that technology is faster than the law. Yeah. What I mean by that is right now what entertainment lawyers are dealing with is the technology of NFTs, right, non-fungible tokens. Technology is so fast that somebody could easily steal your stuff. Taylor Swift went through it. It's a huge Supreme Court case. And so Taylor Swift actually helped out a lot of artists but with that case. But again, these contracts now have to be lock, stock, and barrel because if those terms aren't correct, you're signing away not only under that umbrella of intellectual property rights, you're signing away rights to your NFTs and any AI and anything else that can be used to distort your original work.
Oh.
That sounds like another radio show.
Indeed.
Okay, so I'll get.
I'm here for it.
To come back on and get into some of this because like again we perish for the lack of knowledge, and there is no. I don't feel like I'm. Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say these music seminars and music conferences. They only want you there to take your money.
Right.
They're not really educating you artists on the contracts, how to get you a entertainment lawyer, how to read a contract, what's what. All they do is let's go get Snoop Dogg for this conference, and his name is going to draw everybody. Everybody's focused on meeting Snoop Dogg instead of focus on what the conference is or the seminar is. A seminar or conference, that's when you bring in your entertainment lawyers and you bring in people that's going to take care of your money, make sure that your taxes are being paid, and the reason why this and that is going on. Distribution. Why get distribution that's going to offer you marketing and promotion and things like that? Where the strongest distribution places are at in the world, we already know Asia. Asia is your strongest distribution place to make your money. Everybody should know that. Everybody should know that. Like these small distribution companies that everybody run to, you're paying more money for nothing. One guy had 67 million streams, and he got a check for $33.90.
Wow. Well, we are, little by little, person by person, we will, we can, people are, you're going to either be open to the knowledge or not. And so, we're giving it. I'm an educator in my heart. And so, I would like to educate people on all various things. So we are coming up to 10:58. We're going on 11 o'clock. And our show is coming to a close. before we close, Micke, can you tell everybody else again where can they find you? Our listening audience, where do they find you? Your music, your Instagram handle.
So it's Micke DeCosta on everything. That's MickeDeCosta. Right now I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Micke DeCosta. You can also go to my website, MickeDeCosta.com. And like I said, sign up for my mailing list so you can be a part of the community and, get everything when it's hot off the press.
Delina, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram under Lioness Delina, LionessDelina, or my website, lionessvisions.com. Visions is Vizions.
All right. What about you, Miss Tanya? Where can anybody want to find you, or are you wanting to be found?
I don't want to be found right now, but I am. I'm on Instagram. Well, music by the real Tanya. Tanya is spelled Tonyaa. I'm trying to put all my energy into Micke right now. I still have some other artists that I work with that I'm trying to get them going at the same level that she's moving, but I don't want to take on any new ventures at this moment.
That's what's up. How about you, Carla? Where can if you're looking for a lawyer, are you taking clients? What's going on there?
I am, and this is a great time to get me because I'm in the beginning stages of entertainment law, so the price is going to go up the more
They're going up.
On Instagram, you can find me at The Attorney in a Box, all run together. And on Facebook, you can find me under Lynette Hines, Lynnette. That's my middle name. Or you can Google me and all of my stuff will pop up.
Come on, Google.
The first thing that'll probably pop up is who I work for right now, the firm I work for. But yeah, you can reach me on anywhere. It'll pop up. I tried to hide it from the government, but they wouldn't let me. Elon Musk and them found me. So.
Antonio, where can anyone who's looking for you, your music, and you have a new project coming out, right?
The Rebirth Seasons 1 and 2 Unplugged Sessions coming out June 24th. It's just the unplugged versions of songs from my last 2 albums. So it's going to be dope. Got some new stuff on there as well. June 24th. You can find me on Instagram at Tonio's Music, TONIOS Music. Website is toniosmusic.com. Yes, sir.
DJ Sean, where do people need to sign up to find you?
They can go to Facebook, the Hilltop Radio Show, or Instagram, the Hilltop Radio Show, or they can go Sean Fisher on Facebook as well too, or the HilltopRadioShow.org or DJSean.org. Yeah, radio stations, and just let everybody know June the 4th, next Wednesday, Hilltop Radio Show is 15 years old. Yeah.
Woo-hoo!